This is a video about the sixth dimension and how it explains the existence of universal constants, such as the speed of light and the laws of physics. As you might already know, major fields of physics accurately describe and make predictions about our universe. They do so by solving complex equations and proving true through repeatable experiments. A good example is classical physics, as in the works of Sir Isaac Newton. One weakness about them, however, they do not explain how they end up using specific constants or obeying specific laws of physics. Have you ever asked yourself why pi remains to be 3.142? Or why the speed of light c remains to be approximately 3 times 10 raised to 8? Or the best way to ask this question, will it be possible to make a light source that produces light at a speed of 2 times 10 to 8? The sixth dimension is part of string theory and may have a way of providing this explanation. So stick along in the video and let's learn about the sixth dimension. To better understand the sixth dimension, let us have a quick wrap up of what the first 5 dimensions are about. Imagine a dot A in the middle of nowhere. It is almost impossible to give a lot of details about this dot. We do not know its size, position, let alone its mass. But if we were to add another dot B some distance away, then we can at least describe its position by saying how far it is from B. This is the first dimension, and it is known as the length. It only explains how far an object is from a known point, but it does not give us any further details about this dot. And this takes us to the second dimension, 2D. Suppose we enlarge this dot and form a flat circular shape. The circle occupies a two-dimensional space like all the other shapes. This far we can be able to calculate how far the circle is and how long or wide it is. Not only that, we can also calculate how much area it occupies using a formula. Moving on to the third dimension, we discover more details about our object. It is actually a sphere. And from this we can now know not only how far, long and wide the circle is, but also how high or deep this object is. We can calculate both area and the space it occupies. At this point we can see that the more dimensions we have, the more information we have about any object. Cubes and models are examples of objects that occupy a three-dimensional space. We humans are also confined in this third dimension, and sorry to say, our physical perception is also limited to it. As we move on to the fourth dimension, things start to become weird, and I will suggest you stretch out and have a cup of tea. First of all, the fourth dimension, known as time, is invisible in our perspective. And another thing, we can only move forward in this dimension. Albert Einstein proven that 3D space and time intertwine to form a fabric known as space-time. This fabric tends to bend around heavy objects, causing the body surrounding them to experience a pull called gravity. And it is this breakthrough by itself that proves the potential of higher dimensions to explain natural phenomena. He also added that time happens independently for every single body. To better understand this, think about the aging of different things that exist, from human beings to houses and cars. And according to him, time is always faster for slow-moving bodies and slow for fast-moving bodies. In fact, time tends to freeze for a body moving close to the speed of light, such as a photon. But up to this moment, we still cannot tell why the speed of light and most constants hold specific values. And our hope is that the sixth dimension is going to reveal this to us. But let us stick to the business of the day. Why is the speed of light 3 times 10 to 8? The fifth dimension comes in and says, there is more to our observable universe in time. There exist other 10 to 500 universes parallel to our universe, each with the same initial conditions but different laws or constants. Kinda weird. In simpler terms, there is a 1 out of 10 to 500 probability that a parallel universe with different values of c, different values of pi, different values of g, and so on exists. And it is by chance that our universe possesses the different properties that it has. Yeah, got me right. This dimension is known as the probability space. It sheds some light of how our universe ended up having all the present conditions, such as physical laws and constants that govern it. The limitation of this dimension, however, it does not explain how our universe ended up the only one amongst the many that supports life. In more technical words, it does not allow fine-tuning of the physics of our universe. For example, to allow life on Earth, all conditions that support life must be present and have to work together. It is this fine-tuning of these conditions that lies in the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension allows the ability to travel in between the parallel universes in the fifth dimension. This means that a universe can borrow from another universe and vice versa. The best way to understand this is to imagine yourself in a party where there are plenty of dishes. Two conditions remain true. 1. At least not all dishes are a favorite to you. And 2. You cannot eat all the food in the dishes that are a favorite to you. So, as you serve from one dish to another, you only take what is pleasing and enough for you. And whatever you end up with differs from your friends and other people. These dishes serve as the many probabilities that exist in the fifth dimension, and your plate becomes the fine-tuned universe from the many universes. In other words, speed of light in our universe is 3 times 10 to 8 by chance, and there might be other universes out there with a totally different speed of light and physics in general. So, if the dishes are the many probabilities and your plate the fine-tuned universe, who do you represent while you serve? While string theory attempts to provide an explanation of the universe, it still lacks experimental proof, and this becomes its major setback. Let me know what you think about this explanation in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you found it insightful, be free to hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Keep it curious.